Lane switch, lanes wish was on the same, but my aim to take my name and brand it. Landry famous, handed down to generations. Don't have limitations, preparing the fan for all the celebrations.
In the mirror with me, love myself feeling free. G-O-D is inside of me. In the mirror with me, love myself feeling free. G-O-D is inside of me. Most feel threatened by your presence. It's the God in you that keep you going. Down 10 times, get up 11 and you keep on going. Glow up, glow up, glow up, glow up, yeah, yeah. Glow up, glow up, glow up, glow up, yeah, yeah.
Welcome back. This is Big Boxx.
Lil Boxx.
We in episode 22 of
Connis Universe of the Autism.
You dig. All right. So now going into episode 22, we wrapped that up and we scratched the surface and got a great conversation out the way and more of an understanding of you, and you gave me more of an understanding, and I'm so proud right now just for you having that piece of clarity, and that's something we never really talked about or really expounded on. So that was actually dope. Okay. And so now what we're gonna do here is the summer's over. So after the summer, if you're after the summer, what usually happens? You go to what?
School.
All right. So you in a new school, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the concept of it, we know that the school actually physically didn't start. You have to do remote because it's a brand new school. So you're gonna be like a pilot 10th, 9th grader, and your other siblings are gonna be pilot 7th grade, pilot 5th grade, and pilot 4th grade. So y'all basically the first students. So it hasn't physically opened, and you had to go back to remote learning. So what do you feel about that as far as having to revisit remote learning again?
To be honest, I don't like it.
You don't like it?
Because I kind of have trouble getting to meetings and such. So I think it's better if I was at the building and rather be homebound, because we've been homebound for like so many years.
Yeah, I know. I understand. So it kind of reminds you how the pandemic was?
Yes.
Okay. But overall, getting to your initial aspect, without saying names, without getting into details, initial aspect of just your teachers and your classmates in general, what do you think about it? You think there's something that you're really interested in as far as the school-wise?
Yes.
The aspect of school, and what classes do you have?
Computer science and Adobe Visual Design.
Okay, how does that make you feel having Adobe Visual Design?
I feel pretty good about it, and also the reason why I joined them is because so I can do the beta demos for the game, and two separate beta demos for the potential campaign.
Okay, all right, that's dope. That's dope. And what other classes do you have?
ELA and science.
Okay, I know science is really one of your main things. And ELA, you good at it. You great at ELA. You love reading. And it's just that what we're going to go into this next stage is with all that is you being able to retain that information that you don't like. Because I know with you all the information you read that you do like it, you memorize it. But if you don't like it, I remember back when you were younger, you was like, I don't like it, or I don't need it, I don't feel like I need to know it. How does that make you feel now? Do you still have that thought process, or you know you have to push past that in order to move forward in life, or is it still a battle for you?
Still a battle.
It's still a battle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's like, I remember a long time ago when you told me, it was like maybe in the 3rd or 4th grade when you said, I don't need it in life. It's like, I don't want to use this. I don't need it. It don't make no sense. So from using your autistic perception, and you see how so much me and mom has to do, and the adults around you in your life, how much do you look at and say, I know they don't want to do that. I know they don't have to do that. I know that information they have to gather is aggravating, and they don't really need that to take care of themselves or take care of us. Why do they do it? have you ever made that correlation to see that I have to go through this process and I have to take this information, even though in my mind may shut it out, my mind may turn it off, my mind may go into other things that I'm more interested in, but this piece of information, I have to take it at this level to move to that level. Have you ever really processed that? Okay, you haven't processed it. So how can we get to that point and we approach that to say, okay, how can we help you? How can me and your mom help you to get to that level to say, I have to learn how to switch my desires when it comes to comprehension and implementation and say, okay, my desire is not to like this or not to understand this, but I need this to go to the next level in life, even though this has nothing to do with me. Like, overall in general, of course, I would love to have $1 billion and leave you with $200 million. I'm trying to where you can just be like, I don't want to do that, I ain't got to do that, I'm not going to do that. Because we all know only way you cannot want to do something that is given to you for to do to move to the next level is if you create the level. I mean, am I making sense?
Yes.
All right, so how can us as being your parents and the adults and people around you that you look up to, how can we help you say, okay, I have to take this certain information and I have to implement it in my life, because if I don't do it, the powers that be won't allow me to do X, Y, and Z. How can we help you? Or how can we help not just you? Because now, I'm not saying you represent all autistic children, but you do have some of the same aspects, like in the group your mom's in. A lot of the parents have some of the same issues. And we're seeing you make strides in some of these issues that other kids younger than you, your age, and even young adults older than you, having those issues. So we're really leaning into you to try to get you to get these things together, and you're stepping up to the plate. So help us help you in that sense. What do you think in your daily interactions can make you take certain comprehensions, as simple as ELA, and you might, Johnny loves comic books, he loves comic books because, and then Johnny will keep liking comic books, but then they'll talk about what Johnny, even though he liked comic books, Johnny liked to sit on the couch. Johnny liked to play with his brothers and sisters. I know this is way younger than your comprehension level. I'm just using this as an example. So the only thing you would gather out there is the comic books, because you like comic books. Everything else you like, I'm not worried about Johnny. Johnny could go over there. Just let me know what kind of comic books Johnny reading. So, but we need to ask you everything going on with Johnny. So if we need to make you have a good understanding, or ask you to have a good understanding, how can we say, okay, he needs to comprehend everything about Johnny? What would make you understand everything about Johnny?
Like how, like what he.
See, that's what I'm trying to see. Do your brain even click in that way to be like, I'm gonna worry about Johnny? So now we've gotten to this point to where it's like your brain don't even think that way. It's like, man, I'm not worrying about Johnny. But how can we assist you in a way? That's something we need to figure out, put our brains together, and maybe something that we can help implement to autistic kids to be like, okay, outside of my interest, I need to be interested in this as well. So do you think it may be a great method that you've learned to, because you're so interested in being social and making relationship connection and friends, you found a way to turn that off. So when it comes to anything regular in life that does not interest you, how can we get you to turn that off as well? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So in what ways you think would be best for us to approach you in that way, to help you in that way? Do you think there's a way we can do that?
To be honest, I don't know.
You don't know? So this is your first time ever thinking about it this way.
Yes.
So this may be the beginning stages, and it may be the start of starting a way for you to overcome that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're super intelligent, you're super smart, and that's been the correlation of what we're trying to see. How can we make it be a broader thing for you across the board? Because like you say, you got your life so mapped out to it. When you gonna leave the house, what you gonna do, when you gonna get married, when you gonna have kids, who can come by your house, what time, how long niggas stay. You have all that mapped out in your brain already with your conversations. But we'll get back to that. Let's go ahead and wrap up this episode. This conversation getting realer and realer. I like this. This Big Boxx,
Lil Boxx.
Connis University of Autism, one life, one love, one God. Y'all blessed, be royalty, peace.
Boxx-A-Million.
Boxx-A-Million. Boxx-A-Million.
Mighty Lion of Judah.